Hey there, Internet. I'm Pan, the organizer, and I'm here at the DIY Detail Studios, and Keeve is about to learn how to use a rotary polisher to do some paint correction. Is that okay?
Cut. Let me try. Hey, Internet. Rick from Rad Garage. Stick around and watch my boy Keeve take this Jeep to new levels. Let's go.
That was much better.
Ivan with DIY Detail. Today, we have this Jeep in for polishing. Nick is off on a flight somewhere, so I need some help. I brought help in the form of Brian from Fab Automotive Detail and Keeve from Cars with Keeve. These two gentlemen have said that they don't really have a lot of experience finishing with a rotary. So we're going to finish with a rotary, guys.
Sounds like fun.
Okay.
Can't wait to learn.
I'm a little afraid.
Pardon me?
I'm a little afraid the myths are just out there.
Yeah,
They got me psyched out.
they're myths. Don't worry.
I'm intimidated by the rotary.
Right.
And I'm a beginner at the DA.
Okay.
And that's what I started with. I started with a Ryobi, and now I have a ShineMate 15 millimeter throw.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've learned on the hood. I just haven't done a whole car with it yet.
If we look at, we take a pad and we just put one drop on the pad, one dot, that little piece of abrasive on a rotary, if we're going 600 RPM on a 6-inch pad, is around 4.7 to 5 meters per second. If we take that same dot of abrasive and put it on a DA with a 25 millimeter stroke, that's what ours is, you're getting now 9 meters per second. So you're almost doubling the travel distance or speed of that abrasive. Now, a rotary, the outside of the pad is doing a lot of work. The inside, not so much, because it's going slower. The smaller diameter, the slower it's moving. Whereas with the DA, it's moving consistently all the time. So first thing, gentlemen, tradition on our channel, a set of red gloves.
If you say so.
I know you don't like gloves. They're not my favorite either, but I'd like to keep my beautiful old skin the way it is, not worse. And, polishing, there's not many chemicals involved, but still, chemicals are chemicals. First thing we want to do is start with a clean, damp pad. Not a wet pad, not a dry pad, especially not a dry pad.
Why damp?
Why damp?
Yeah.
Better lubrication.
Okay.
First of all, like the traditional polish, right? They'll take this pad, they'll put 4 or 5 drops of polish on it.
Yep.
Then they start polishing. There's only 4 or 5 areas that have lubrication. The rest of it, it's dry foam going across the paint. Not a good idea.
Whether it's like an abrasive kind of?
Yeah, whether it's a DA or a rotary. We want to slightly moisten the pad. Okay. We don't want it wet. Wet is just, going to sling everywhere. We don't like sling. You don't like sling. You don't like sling. I don't like sling. There we go. Had to prime it first. And if you like sling, leave it in the comments. I doubt there is anyone that will leave that comment. Yeah. And then I'm just going to rotate this over the pad washer. Lift it up about 1/4 inch. Spin it out at speed 6 till no more moisture is coming out. And now I have just a barely damp pad. It's not wet in any way. It's just damp.
Okay. And what do we have in the bucket?
Rinseless Wash, 256 to 1.
Okay.
Then from there, we're going to take our gold standard polish. And this is very different in the industry. It's a sprayable polish. A couple reasons why we have a sprayable polish. One is if you put 3 or 4 drops on there, you only have 3 or 4 spaces that are working. Secondly, the sprayable polish gives you a better coverage over your pad, and you use a lot less product. So from there, 1 spray on the pad. And now we have a nice distribution over the pad. Yep. I have it on speed 1. It's the lowest speed the machine will go. You don't want to go any higher than speed 1. The next thing is the grip on the machine. A lot of people will do a death grip. You want the more relaxed grip you can do. You don't want to have pressure on the machine. You don't want to have pressure on yourself. Have good posture. You don't want to be down here. You don't need to smell the polish. It smells like bananas. I'll tell you right now. You don't need any more than that. And
so
then
don't do anything I've ever done with a dual action polisher.
Pardon me?
Just don't do anything I've ever done with a dual action polisher.
Okay, so you're the type of guy that does this?
No, but I'm just saying pressure. And,
oh yeah.
And,
even the dual action we don't use pressure.
Okay.
But, yeah. To me, if it feels like you're working, you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
You paid good money for this machine. Let it work for you.
Do the work.
Yeah.
You're just trying to keep the pad as flat as possible.
Right. All we're doing is keeping the pad on the paint. So I'm using 2 fingers. I'm going over body lines. Very, very easy to control. I don't even have to look at it. It's not, you'll feel the balance. And with the rotary, If you lift up the back end, it goes one way. If you put the back end down, it goes the other way. If you try to tilt it, it'll go one way. If you tilt it the other way, it goes the other way. So once you find that point of balance.
And when it comes to a rotary type,
That's so smooth.
Yeah.
When it comes to a rotary type machine, does the type of machine matter as much as say as a DA machine?
No. So rotary, two important numbers: below 800 RPM and above 2400 RPM. The below 800 RPM is your working speed. So up to 800 RPM, you're good. I prefer like a 400 to 600. And then your top speed, you want above 2400 RPM to spin the pad out. If it were up to me, this would be a 2-speed switch. Work, clean.
Okay.
That's it. It would cost more to have, it actually costs more to have a 2-speed switch than a variable speed. So yeah, we're sticking with that. But you saw how easy it is to control. Yeah. Where people make mistakes is not using the trigger lock. When you're holding this trigger, it effectively locks your wrist and your elbow. So now your movements become jerky and harder to control. The other is putting weight. Third is trying to hold on to it. The less you hold on to it, the easier it is to move, the easier it is to maneuver. The less you're working, the more work it's going to do.
Now, typically with a DA at least, we do a crosshatch pattern.
Yeah.
I noticed when you were doing that side earlier, kind of testing.
Yeah.
You really didn't have a pattern, for the most part.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
The crosshatch pattern is good for memory.
Okay.
So
muscle memory.
Yeah. So basically, you know you've gone left, right, up, down, left, right. I've done 3 passes. Right. I'm good. For myself, I like going left to right.
Okay.
When I'm teaching, I always teach the crosshatch, just because, again, it's that mental cue of, oh, I've started this way. I see lines going up and down. That means I still have one more pass to do.
Okay. And it's easier to size your 2x2 section.
If you can get a microfiber towel out of the top drawer there. For someone starting, put that on the hood. No, unfolded.
Oh, unfolded.
Yeah.
All the way?
Yeah. For someone starting, that should be your section size.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's just an easy...
So like 18 by 18 or 16 by 16.
Yeah, an easy representation. That should be roughly what your section size is. Another thing is, don't polish wider than your shoulders. So Brian can polish 2 inches wider than you can.
Yeah.
Because once you're extending yourself, you're losing balance, it's hard to control the machine. Posture is something that a lot of people don't consider in polishing. Posture is a very important part of polishing. Have a good posture and don't be bent over and hunched over the machine. Stand up straight. The machine doesn't need your face looking at what it's doing.
Okay.
The machine can easily do what it needs to do without you even looking at it. And the more you look at it, and the more you try to control it, you heard the sound change. All I did was rest my hand. And that's enough to make it more difficult to control. So our polisher actually has a little divot under here to make it easier to hold with your finger.
Okay.
And that's it.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Now when you come over this curvature here, are you angling your hands at all, or are you just using the softness of the
we use a waffle pad. And something to show here. So I've got no polish there. Again, just 2 fingers. I'll go over this, come back up. I've polished that whole section.
So how are you hitting like right here?
The waffle is conforming to the surface.
Okay.
If you want to have a problem with the rotary, use a flat pad. A flat pad is going to pull you around everywhere. It's going to be difficult to control. And to do this, you're going to have to do this, hold on to the machine, go down like that, then go like that.
And I see it all the time in shops that I go into.
Yeah. Well,
they're tilting the machine constantly.
Yeah. So easy errors with the rotary.
Yeah. You would get more heat without the waffle too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the waffle creates less heat. The less heat, the better it is.
Yeah.
But errors that you see in shops is this.
Yeah.
This.
And that's common.
Yeah, that's common. Again, if it feels like you're working, you're doing something wrong. Who wants to try?
Oh, I'd love to.
Let me start you off with a clean, fresh pad.
Okay. Yeah.
Never put
wipe
clean.
this off?
Yeah. Never put clean polish on a dirty pad. Oh.
Sorry. All righty. And as long as I keep it flat.
As long as you keep it flat. So as an experiment, just lift up the back end a little bit
Oh yeah, it starts pulling on it.
and then drop the back end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know if you're not flat.
Once you find that equilibrium, it becomes super easy to do.
Now, how fast do I want to move the polisher?
As fast or as slow as you want.
Okay.
But the slower you move, the faster you work.
Okay.
Because you're letting the machine do the work.
So like right there, I can feel that body line pushing against me a little bit,
Yeah.
or either that, or I'm not pulling it up. to make
You
it
just
flat.
just let it follow the curves.
And this is the best way to get jeweling.
100%.
Okay. Just the ultimate gloss that you can get.
Yeah. So people freak out about the rotary. It's going to create heat, right?
Right.
So what temperature are we at?
86 degrees.
Okay. Hold it there for a minute. Just don't move it. Are you stressed out yet?
No. It's not shaking me to death either.
No.
It's nice and smooth.
Yeah. But some people at this point would be stressed about
Yeah.
the heat on the paint.
Yeah.
What's it at now?
94.
So we went up 8 degrees.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So the faster you go, the more passes you have to make.
Right.
Basically.
The slower you move, the faster you work.
Because I'm not one to move slow when I'm polishing, so. But with a rotary, I guess I'm going to have to learn to keep myself.
Oh, you can go faster if
Yeah.
you want. It's more work for you.
Yeah.
You paid for the machine, let it do the work. Now, if you feel the machine starting to get grabby, that means your pad is starting to dry up.
And that's and lifting up. That's such a cool trick to learn.
Yeah.
If I lift it up and immediately wants to pull one way or the other.
Right.
And that's actually pretty. That way you know. See, and I've tried using the rotary at my house by myself.
Yeah.
I just could never get it smooth. I was constantly bouncing around on me.
And you probably did that with a flat
It
pad.
was a flat pad. Yeah.
Flat pad, I wake up
So
around
this is key.
Yeah, I wake up around 3:15 every morning, so I can hate flat pads a little longer every day.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's just not the best tool. You know, a flat pad is inexpensive, but it has a lot of drawbacks.
Okay.
Whereas this has no drawbacks other than, you know, it looks funky, but they work well, they're smooth, they get into contours that you can't get in with a flat pad.
What is the advantage of finishing with all the advantages of finishing with this versus doing a dual action? Is it faster to finish with this, or is it just better, like as far as your finished product?
So faster and better gloss.
Okay.
And
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's smooth. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's big.
it's a lot easier on you.
Yeah.
You know, as the user. But the other thing is, you know, people will say cutting with the DA isn't right. There's no right or wrong way to
as
detail.
long as you get to the end
Yeah.
result you want.
Right. The cutting with a DA, if we go, you know, pad for pad, machine for machine, same thing, the DA always cuts faster.
Yeah.
The rotary feels like you're cutting faster. And on some defects, if you've got the good old school wool pad, you're going at it, yes, you might cut a little faster with the rotary. But then you're gonna have to do more steps to correct that
Yeah.
than with the DA. If you're cutting with the DA, 2 passes with that, like left, right, up, down, you're done.
Add more to this, or
We never add more, we clean.
that's right. I'm sorry. And I'll wipe off this hood really quick. These lights really throw me off that they have in here in the shop. Yeah, it looks great.
Next.
Here I come. But we don't have to do the whole
No.
thing. Okay.
Start working.
Okay. Just start working.
Use the trigger lock. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the less you hold onto it, the easier it's going to get.
Yep.
So your backhand, just wrap one finger around the cord.
Like you were telling Brian earlier, like when you change the angle, you can feel it
Yeah.
walking you.
So this way, it's a lot easier on you.
Yeah.
There's no pressure whatsoever.
And Mike,
Obviously, when you come into the,
how much smoother is that than using a DA?
it's much
so
smoother,
much smoother, isn't it? Yeah.
especially on this contour right here, and with that waffle weave, like you said, it's
Yeah.
catching all, when I go across this Jeep logo, it's basically getting all around it without having to
Yeah.
get in there like this and then, you know.
Yeah. And the slower you move, the faster you work.
How would you suggest working around like all of this trim? You would just run across it?
Yeah, you can run across it, or let's say in here, the rotary has the advantage of being able to do this.
So you can't do that with DA. It beats the snot out of the trim.
Oh, yeah.
So you just go down between the two.
Oh, nice. Get used to the trigger here. Like I say, if I wanted to come around just this edge,
Yeah,
just holding it like that.
yeah,
But then we can also go right over the trim because the gold standard doesn't have any fillers. And we don't have to worry about, you know, getting residue all over our trim.
no. It's a stress-free polishing experience.
Now, do you fear these grills or anything tearing up the waffle?
No. Now, if they're really pointed or something, yes, but
Yeah.
you know, these are not, so.
Now, when you do these little areas right here, you do want a little more control over the device.
Yeah,
correct?
you're using it in 3 fingers instead of 2.
Yeah.
So your pad choice is crucial.
The pad choice is 100% crucial.
Yeah.
And that's why we designed your system with 3 very specific pads to do the job, but you don't need more than those 3 pads.
Okay.
Everything you need is
Keep
within
it
those
simple.
pads. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
So I had multiple shops, multiple employees. Everyone was trained on the same system. We had 2 machines, 3 pads. That was it.
That's it. Okay.
Long stroke DA and a rotary.
Okay.
Now, is it better on curves like this to work like halfway on the curve, or is it better to work them up and down?
It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever works for you.
What RPMs is that machine spinning at right now?
600.
600 RPMs.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the intimidation factor is nothing.
Gone.
So I take
Like,
it you
it's like-
cringe when these guys turn the machine all the way up and they're polishing.
Yeah, it's a great way of ruining paint.
Yeah.
It's hard on the machine. It's hard on the pads.
Is that how they're getting holograms and stuff?
Yeah.
They're so bad. Okay.
Yeah, the very first time I polished my test hood, and I used just a Ryobi DA polisher.
Yeah, the little
and
8mm.
When I showed the video, there were a lot of people, helpful comments, not mean, telling me you used way too much RPM. I can tell the haze that you were at like 7,000 RPM when you
Yeah.
should have been under 5,800. You should have been like three to
Yeah, and that's
4,000
orbits per minute.
orbits per minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we went over the black sticker there.
Yep.
So that's why we have black on the pad. The pad washer, once again, Rinseless Wash doing the work for us. So in my shops, when I was working, the trigger lock was put on when I started and never got taken off.
Now, what would be the
machine is sling it anywhere. It's not
No,
moving
and the
fast.
machine never stopped.
Yeah.
what would be the process if you didn't have a pad washer?
Get a shallow reserve, like a pie plate, whatever. Just put like a ½ an inch of rinseless wash on the bottom of it. Touch it, massage the pad a little bit, and then spin it out in a bucket.
You like a massage it at a slow speed or something like that?
No, like
or
just by hand.
Just by hand.
Stop, yeah. But, the rotary, a lot of people are, say it's difficult to control. It's not hard at all to control. So if you want to hold it by the duck bill, you can hold it here with one hand.
I would test it because it does feel a little bit different on a side panel. It's
The,
still
the
smooth.
angle of your hand,
It's
your
just because
control
you
is
have
different.
to really make sure that you're staying flat.
Your control is different too because
Yeah.
the angle of your hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously these side panels are
Especially
completely
like when you
curved.
come down this body line right here.
Yeah. And stand
You're
up.
gonna
You don't need to
feel-
bend over.
Okay. So it'd be better at this point to turn the pad downwards versus holding it up like this.
Well, you can actually have the machine left to right.
this way.
No, you can have the machine left to right as well.
Oh, okay.
So that way your two shoulders are at the same height. The other important tool is this.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm not going to get on this while I'm operating this machine. So, oh, the knees.
Yeah.
To get there,
That's what that's for.
to get there. But once you're here, like the workability is. You're right. It makes you stand straight up.
Yeah, it
Like your
forces your back to be in
Yeah.
proper posture. You can't slouch even if you wanted to.
I've already got a slouch naturally. I can't help it.
So you guys looked at that Kia the other day, right? The black Kia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door cups on my side were polished. I never did that by hand. I just used the rotary. So you can actually get the tip of the rotary up into that door cup. So don't go past your shoulders.
Okay.
So no wider than you
Okay,
are.
like right here.
Yeah.
And you could actually turn on this to
Yeah.
keep.
And now just take the tip of the pad and put it up under the door handle.
The hand. There you go.
And you can actually get it in further. So now you've polished about half that door cup, then you can come down from the top and do the same thing.
Because when you do that, you have to be a little more control of the device because it's going to want to walk on you.
Well,
on
yeah,
those-
you get to know when you have to actually hold the machine and when you don't.
And then to wipe this off, we use
Rinseless damp and
rinseless
towel.
damp and towel.
I'll take the machine from you there, sir. You're not trying to get everything off. You're just
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
just-
get the rinseless to emulsify what's there. And
Then buff off.
yeah.
You really don't even have to do a ton of like buffing, really, either.
No.
Back again. Make it easy. Work
Yep.
work easy.
Yeah. You've paid for these machines. Let them do the work for you.
Well, I've never thought about wiping off my polish with a damp towel.
Yeah.
I've always used a dry towel to wipe my polish off.
With water, it's not going to work. You need to use the rinseless.
right.
What the rinseless actually emulsifies the polishing oils, breaking them down, making them so that it's,
It's added
just wipe away.
lubrication.
Adds added lubrication.
Right.
So, any questions on the rotary polisher, gentlemen?
No, I mean,
I don't think so.
definitely took some intimidation away. I mean, it's not necessarily an intimidation, it's just something that you never tried before and you hear all the myths.
Yeah.
But just like when I tried the DA before, it was the confidence and, somebody not wanting to gatekeep,
Yeah.
the different steps that it takes to do it properly and efficiently.
Yeah.
And now people are less gatekeeping and people like me in my garage can polish their own car.
Yeah.
Right. Polishing is something that anyone can do. It's super easy. It's fun. It's effective. It shouldn't be a stressful part of the detail. It should be a
It's so
relaxing
rewarding.
part. Yeah.
When you're done.
And this isn't something you necessarily do. You don't have to cut every time before you do a ceramic coating
No.
or anything. This polish step is easier, it's quicker,
Yeah.
and it gives you a nice enough surface to do a ceramic coating, a nice clean surface.
Yeah.
But if you do want to go crazy, as this is your follow-up step to
Yeah.
a true cut with a DA.
So this is preserving the clear coat.
Yeah.
So if you
Yes.
have a customer that doesn't really care about the scratches and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but they just want to kind of have some gloss,
but this is going to
why
get most,
compound and go through all that when you can just do that?
Yeah.
Give them this gloss, and they'd be perfectly happy with it.
Yeah. Preservation over perfection.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
clear coat's getting thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is going to get rid of 40 to 50% of those swirls that people see like on black car in the
Yeah.
sun at an angle.
Yeah.
Most of those really stand out swirl marks. Actually, this will take care of
Oh,
most
yeah.
of those. It's this deep stuff that, is it worth ruining the clear coat to get to?
No,
Probably not.
I've always said, first of all, in detailing, we never remove a scratch. We remove the clear coat around the scratch.
You're leveling
So,
it with
yeah,
it.
so it's like arguing with an idiot.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win an argument with an idiot, he's going to bring you down to his level.
Yeah.
The scratch is bringing the clear coat down to its level.
Yep.
Or you use some kind of filler product.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people, when they start detailing, it's because they just bought a new car. And that one they want to take care of, right? The old clunker they didn't want to take care of. Now they have a new car. Get the rotary first. The rotary, you're not going to remove as much material. You're going to be able to polish everywhere. It's going to give you better gloss than a DA. It's going to finish beautifully. And it's not an intimidating tool to use.
But for the last 10 years, the detailing world has told us DA, 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 DA.
Yeah, yeah.
For starters.
Oh, yeah.
They've always told us that.
Right.
For the last 10 years at least.
Yeah, it's 20 actually, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
From what I heard, it was DADA, don't ever try a rotary because you'll just burn your paint.
Yeah.
That was what I always heard. So here we go. We're taking these gloves off, but we're in Ivan's place here. He invited me over here, and that was, just like Brian said in his video, that was one of the first things I wanted to learn how to use a rotary and to get that intimidation off, learn that confidence. And actually, it's easy. Actually, running a pressure washer is to me, is harder than one of these because you got to worry about scratching with whatever you're using.
Right.
And I just want to appreciate you. Thank you for having me out here and
you.
teaching me. Brian was in a lot of the video as well. I'm standing around there not knowing what to do with my hands, but I appreciate you being in the video.
Yeah.
Fab Detailing, check them out. Check out DIY Detail. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check the links below for anything in the video, and I'll see you in the next video.
Wait, there was no bloopers in this one.
Oh, there's supposed to be a blooper?
There may have been. If
Okay.
Here, I'll give you a
If
blooper.
Pan lets us show his bloopers.
Yeah, okay.
Here, I'll give you a blooper.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
There it
you
is.
go.
There it is.
Well, that's one of them. I thought you said that the rotary was safe.
Yeah. Or the paint
We
right
removed
off
all
the mirror.
paint off of the mirror.
Yeah, it's gone.
I've got Brian from Fab Automotive Detail and Kiev from Kiev.
We're good?